How's it, guys? It's Davey FPL and welcome back to the Deadline with Davey live stream. This live stream is obviously going to revolve around the upcoming game week 12. The international break has concluded, so if you guys are absolutely pumped for some FPL content, just give me a second to get everything on screen. You guys can let me know if the audio and the video look and sound okay. I see the timer is working as expected and therefore we should be good to go. I'm just going to start off with a poll quick. This is just going to be all about the captain. So I didn't want to do it at the, kind of before the stream started, because then it usually sways the voting a bit. So I'm just going to start the poll now, and it's just going to be a simple captaincy poll. So there's a few options this week. I've seen kind of Salah seems like the majority captain. I think Haaland personally is probably my second favorite. And then let's just say other. I don't even know who you other would captain this week. So I've got Salah, Palmer, Haaland. Those are probably the three options. And you guys can now vote on that and let me know who your captain is. I'm expecting probably Salah to be the most captained, and I think Haaland might come in second. So if I owned Haaland and Salah, for me it'll be quite close between them. I think Salah just edges it with the clean sheet point and the extra point per goal, but very close. Jacobus, you're a bit early there, brother. It's not exactly TUPD time, but you 52 minutes early, but I appreciate the enthusiasm. We've got Nanad in chat, Akshay as well. Sadesh is saying, feels like it's been ages. How you've been, what's up? I've been good. I've been playing a lot of paddle over the international break. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but in SA it's kind of fast growing, but yeah. So I won't lie, I've enjoyed the international break. It's been pretty good for me. I'm not great, but I'm improving. So thanks, Sadesh. Hopefully you're doing well and your international break was also good. Rohit's is saying, keeping the faith in Haaland for one more game week. I would do the same. I have Salah as well, tempted to captain. If you had both, who would your captain? For me, it's close. I think between those two, I would probably say, I actually think Haaland might just edge it because of the injuries defensively that Spurs have. I think, I don't know, it's a tough one. Personally, for me, I probably would still captain Salah, as I'm a Liverpool fan, and I hate watching them play when I don't have Salah captain. But it's so close between us, almost a 50-50, and that's why I just slightly prefer Salah for the clean sheet point, etc. But yeah, I can't say you should captain one or the other because it's so close between them. So just kind of go what your gut feeling is. But yeah, very, very close hits. How's it, Saint? Martin also saying the international break's been quite long. I've taken a -8. Yeah, so I mean, I might take a -4 this week. We'll just talk about that shortly. But hits aren't the worst in the world as long as they're kind of calculated. I always say if you're going for some good fixtures over the next 3 games, they might pay them off. Don't take a -8 at face value after 1 week. I would say maybe monitor it and see how it goes. We don't talk about Bruno. Yeah, Christopher. At the moment, I actually realized I didn't talk about a transfer plan with him. I could go for him. I just feel like it might be slightly too short term, because you're kind of only getting those 2 weeks and then you probably want to get rid of him. So that's why I didn't really speak about him that much. But if you guys do want to kind of go from, for me, it's a wait and see. I just want to see how kind of United set up in their system, because there is a chance that Bruno plays a bit deeper, and that's not what you really want to have from an FPL point of view. Saka to Palmer from -4. Luigi, I'd only do that if you want to captain Palmer. I mean, Saka could be good. SH, thank you. VNA Oguchi, thank you, SH, appreciate it. Matthew St. David the Goat. Andrew, also good morning to you. Saying Timber and Isaac, or Jackson and Gabriel, or no Timber, so I can swap out Sanchez for Raya and with Cole. I think I would leave the goalkeepers as they are. I wouldn't do a goalkeeper transfer. Timber and Isaac is more medium term. Jackson's definitely more of a short term punt. But if you plan to get Isaac in a few weeks, you could also do that. I'd probably say Jackson and Gabriel, just because Gabriel's slightly more nailed. We don't exactly know what the backline's going to be. Look, I think Timber should be okay, should be pretty nailed, but you never know with Arteta's kind of backline sometimes. Fantasy Sensei, I do appreciate it. Tarang saying, sorry I'm late. Tarang, you literally like 2 minutes late. If someone was 2 minutes late for a meeting, I wouldn't hold it against them. So you are perfectly on time. How's it going? Do you already discuss? No, I'm going to discuss them shortly. I'm just waiting for a few more people to get in chat. Also, Yash, I'll discuss it shortly. Not having Haaland, I'm nailed on Salah. So I guess I could be the same because I don't have Haaland either, Chris. I definitely have swayed more towards Salah over the previous game weeks. And as long as my forwards continue to do well, I should be okay. But if Cunha blanks and Haaland bangs and Salah doesn't do well, then we might be in a sticky situation. Kulu and Solanke out for Bruno and Isaac, but -8 and triple captain Salah. You can triple captain Salah. I can't say anything because my triple captain got 6 points, and I'm pretty sure Salah this week gets more than 6 points. Touch wood, no jinx. But, I mean, so you can use triple captain whenever you want to. I might be tempted more, though, to just kind of use it a bit later on now. International breaks, sometimes teams start a bit slow after them. So I might just keep hold of it if you haven't used it by now. And there might be a double game week that's free in the upcoming kind of second half of the season. Des Course is saying TUPD exactly. About 48 minutes left. Sadesh, it is. I would say, though, I think the second half of the season is more kind of crunch time. We usually clutch up second half of the season quite dramatically. So I'd say the second half of the season is slightly more important than the current ones. But yeah, this Christmas period is going to be intense. If you can get to kind of the new year with the respectable rank, you're probably going to have a pretty good finish. But I don't know, the season's been very weird with the premiums. I'm not sure Salah plays 90 minutes before Madrid and City. Marco, yeah, I guess you just have to hope that he scores enough points in between there. I do get that kind of debate, but I think if you consider Salah just had 2 weeks of rest, there might be other players that require rest, like a Luis Diaz, Darwin, that sort of thing. So maybe those players get subbed off, and there's not that many kind of striker wing options at the moment for Liverpool with Jota and Chiesa out. So, I mean, if Darwin's going to start as well as Diaz and they both get subbed early, who are you going to sub on for Salah, for example? So I think Salah's more kind of nailed out of those other Liverpool attackers, and that's why I think he should probably get the majority of the game. But as Bob is saying, what is your transfer plan? I'll go over my transfer plan now. It's a maximum -4, I'd say. So at the moment, my transfer plan, let me just see if you guys can see this. Okay, you guys can. So let me just make it a bit nicer. Okay, cool. So you can see I've got 0.8 in the bank and only 1 free transfer. And the 2 players I'm concerned about are Kulusevski as well as Dom Solanke. So the only problem here is I probably would prefer to take Kulusevski out before Dom Solanke, but the options I want to bring in are all attackers or strikers. So even though Kulusevski might be a worse FPL asset than Dom Solanke, I still want to rather replace Solanke with a better forward. So if you guys missed my kind of team selection ultimate guide, I spoke about the fact that Spurs now have Man City, Fulham, Bournemouth. Even though this Man City game actually might be easy, so I could just roll the transfer. If I think that Spurs do well today, I could just kind of start Kulusevski and Dom Solanke. Hope there's some attacking returns there, which they could be. Might be quite an open game. But then even after that, they've got Fulham, Bournemouth, both those teams in the top 5 defensive stats over the last 6 game weeks. So these next 3 should theoretically be quite tough on paper. So that's why I'm looking to replace my Spurs options. If I do only 1 free transfer for Solanke, I can't afford Isaac. Isaac is 8.5. You guys can see I got 8.4 in the bank, so I missed the price rise. Wouldn't have done it anyways. I think he rose in price Monday, Tuesday. Sweden was still playing a fixture, I think. So missed out on the price rise. Can't go for Isaac. So therefore, Nicholas Jackson's the only option I would consider if I do only 1 free transfer. So this transfer might actually be pretty likely. And the reason for this is that I don't know if it's worth taking Kulusevski out for a hit for someone like a Semenyo. I think over the long run, it might be worth it. But what I'm concerned about is Semenyo gets yellow carded today or tomorrow and then misses out on game week 13 because he's on 4 yellow cards. So let's just say that happens. I would rather kind of just not take the hit, assess the situation next week, and then we can take it from there. But I guess if Semenyo bangs today against Brighton, that hit's already paid off. So that was just, I could also take out Kulusevski for Semenyo. I could also do Rodgers. These are the 2 transfers I spoke about, but this would be from -4. You guys can see there. just below the timer, 4 points hit. So these moves I can both do. And the reason I like these is it leaves me 1 million in the bank. I can then do Chiwomi out for João Pedro. I might have to do this today though, after the deadline, if the prices do change. But at the moment, I might be able to last till Sunday, but probably an early transfer because of the exact funds. So I like these two transfers because it gives me enough for João Pedro. I just don't know where I would play him next week though. The thing that's nice about this is that if Jackson gets yellow carded or Semenyo gets yellow carded, they both miss a fixture. So then João Pedro can just come in for that kind of suspended player and we can still have a great fixture. So João Pedro won't be this week. It would just be either the 1 free transfer or the 2 free transfers. As mentioned, I just don't know if Semenyo or Rogers to Kulusevski is worth a -4 this week. I mean, both have pretty good fixtures. If one returns and Kulusevski blanks, that hit's already paid off. So maybe I should just do it this week. But yeah, just a bit worried about those 4 yellow cards and that sort of thing. I do prefer Semenyo to Rogers though, just want to put that out there. Even though Rogers has some pretty good fixtures as well, I just prefer Semenyo slightly. I just feel like both are playing good in good attacks. I just prefer the fixture slightly from the Bournemouth point of view. And also, no kind of European football for Bournemouth versus Aston Villa who have. So there might be some rotation in and around that. But yeah, so currently, that's my thoughts. What I could also do is I could go for Rogers, Semenyo, and then Isaac for a -4. But then I can't afford João Pedro in next week, which might not be the worst thing in the world. If both don't get yellow carded, I can just play them in game week 13. But yeah, so that's my current thoughts. There was the potential to bring in someone like a Bruno. Let me just check. Okay, no, sorry, these are some midfielders. Okay, so I could go for João Pedro in, or Danny Welbeck, and then I could go for Bruno. I don't know about Bruno. The next 2 fixtures are good, but then he has Arsenal, Nottingham Forest, and Man City, and all 3 of those are particularly kind of tougher games, I'd say. So I think I'd only want him for the next 2, and that's a bit too short term for me. So that's why I'm not on the Bruno train. But yeah, you guys can let me know what your thoughts are down below in the chat. And then obviously I'll answer all your questions. But yeah, currently I think I'm siding towards slightly going for Nicholas Jackson, just for the 1 free transfer, and then just keeping Kulusevski. Because I guess I could also bench him and just play Adenori. What's up, Ty the Footy Guy? Best wildcard team. So I think I made a wildcard team early on. I think a lot of prices have changed. My front line, I'd probably try and go for... I'd probably still stick with Cunha because the fixtures are good kind of medium term. Then I'd say maybe start with Jackson, can shift him to Isaac, or go for Isaac from the start. The midfield would be pretty similar as mine. Instead of Kulusevski though, I would go for... I think you might be able to afford Bruno, and then the defense would be super cheap. I spoke about Lewis Hall, Dinya. You can go for like an Anderson at 4.4 instead of Konza now because Konza's injured. I'd probably still go for Flecken and Fabianski. They rotate quite nicely. If you have funds, you can go for Raya though. But yeah, I think the wildcard this week kind of picks itself. It just depends if you go for Isaac and Jackson or you go for Bruno and then a cheaper forward. Do you feel like Palmer and Mbeumo start? Yeah, Matthew, as far as I'm concerned, both of them are basically guaranteed. Both managers said that they are fit and training. So, yeah, I think with those two, 100%. The other one is Saka, though, which I don't think we'll get much about. You doing Movember, Michael? Last night, I saw one of my mates, and he had Movember, and I was like, I forgot. So, I have not done Movember. Yeah, it probably would be quite bad if I hadn't shaved the whole of November, and this is where I was. Yeah, so unfortunately, I forgot about it. Cohen saying Mbeumo plus Solanke to Palmer plus João Pedro. Those transfers look good. The only thing that's hard is that Mbeumo has 2 good fixtures. So I think it's Everton, Ipswich. It's Everton, Leicester back-to-back. So that's quite tough. So don't be surprised if Mbeumo does well, but let's, for example, say you want to captain Palmer. That makes perfect sense. Rodgers or Welbeck and Lewis or Aitnari. I'd go for Welbeck. Are you talking about kind of to start? I'd say Welbeck. And then I would say Aitnari over Lewis. I don't mind benching Lewis this week. I'm starting Guardiola because at the moment, my back three have the highest chance of clean sheets. But Aitnari could potentially come in. That would be for Guardiola. Let's, for example, say I'm keeping both Kulusevski and Dom Solanke. Then I might just bench Guardiola and play the odds and hope that Spurs do well. Hey, Davey, I have Wood and Solanke. Who should I start? Usama, that is very tough. I'd probably say Dom Solanke just because Man City have not been great. If you guys saw the Ultimate Guide, over the last 6 games, the 6th worst defense in the Prem at the moment. So they are definitely conceding a lot of XG if you believe in XG. Garnacho and Son or Palmer and Semenyo. Son loves City at the Etihad. Yeah. So I've actually heard that apparently Kulusevski's also got a pretty good scoring record against them. I do, however, prefer Palmer and Semenyo though, especially for kind of a more medium-term option. Johnny M. Palmer news. As far as I know, he trained this week, so he should be okay. Solanke to Isaac. Yeah, so I can't do that move, but if you can do that move, I think that's a good move to do. I think it's quite close though between Isaac and Jackson. I think Jackson has the better fixtures. However, Isaac has penalties, that sort of thing. So just kind of between the two, you have to go for who you think. Let's go for Pedro and Bruno, for Solanke and Kulu. And Akil, are you a United supporter by any chance? Because maybe. I have the same attack in mid apart from you. I have McNeil and not Kulusevski. I can afford Solanke to Isaac, which would leave me. Should I change McNeil to? So the only thing is, can you do McNeil to Rodgers? I think can you do that? I think McNeil was 5.5. Potentially. If you can do Rodgers, how many chances do you have, Chris? Is it for a hit, though? That's my only concern. Rodgers or Semenyo? I prefer Semenyo slightly. It's quite close between those two, I think. I just think the Bournemouth fixtures are slightly better. I am worried, though, with the Semenyo injury that he's apparently carrying. It's quite like a long-term thing, apparently. And also, Bournemouth don't have all these kind of European games and that sort of thing where we could potentially have quite a few for Aston Villa coming up. So that's my only concern with them. But I mean, that might not be a concern for you. Rodgers has had his rest this international break. He was selected for the senior squad. And therefore, he should be okay. Would you rather have Isaac or Saka? I think this was a close one. I'd probably say Saka a little bit just because of the way Newcastle have started the season. Hasn't been the best start. It is quite tough though because obviously Isaac is cheaper. But I would try and get Saka in. I think you can get Saka in a team, especially if you're on a wild card. If you're not on a wild card, I still would say I would rather stick with Saka. This week though, it's tough because if Saka doesn't play, I mean, I don't really know. Apparently Declan Rice is out though. That's the one thing I've seen. I will check Twitter occasionally just to see if there is any news. Okay. I don't see anything at the moment. Apparently both Semenyo and Mbeumo are with their squads. But Semenyo was fit. I think he was declared fit. Yeah, so there hasn't been much news, to be honest. I don't see anything at the moment. I will update you guys though, but you guys can let me know if you see anything. Just make sure that it's pretty concrete news though. Okay, let me... Actually, do you guys want to go over projected goals? That might answer a few benching dilemmas. Yeah, Wilson, apparently Rice is out. And it's... Okay, wait, let me just see. I think this is a continuation. Okay. DeRicci says, really annoyed with my captaincy. I've blanked like 8 game weeks, but the team is performing. I'm scared if I captain Salah, he'll blank. Okay, DeRicci, if you've blanked for the last 8 game weeks, maybe just tell me. Maybe just tell me who you captaining, so you can captain someone else. No, I'm joking. It's been Haaland, Salah, Saka. Yeah, I'm pretty surprised that it's been 8 blanks. Are you exaggerating a little bit there? Because that seems like a bit hectic. Will and Boomer's minutes be reduced? I don't exactly know. I don't think so. Sorry, let me just... Haven't been listening to music this entire time. Why do I even have earphones in? Okay, let's go over projected goals as well as clean sheets. This is because you guys might be able to decide some benching dilemmas or some rotation options. So as you guys can see, we've got some pretty high scoring games this week. Leaders being Liverpool at 2.65. Second, Man City with 2.50. So very close between those two. And that's where kind of the Haaland Salah debate comes in, because if I say to you, okay, Liverpool score, yes, you'd probably say Salah's involved, but it could be a Darwin, it could be a Diaz, could be a Gakpo, that sort of thing. Whereas if Man City score, chances are it's probably Erling Haaland. So Haaland has a higher goal share, and therefore, even though Liverpool expected to score more goals, Haaland probably expected to score more goals in terms of the share, if you kind of get what I'm saying there. So second is going to be Man City, third is going to be Chelsea. Then we have a tie with Arsenal as well as Newcastle, both at 2.2. Then we have United on 2.05, Aston Villa on 2.0, Fulham on 1.95, and then Bournemouth on 1.7. So very high scoring games apparently this week. And then you guys can obviously translate that as well to the lowest scoring teams for clean sheets. So Arsenal still 50%. I mean, I don't know. I thought that this would be lower, that Arsenal defense hasn't been as impressive for me. And considering how free-flowing Forest have been scoring lately, I was expecting less than 50%. But yeah, so if you guys have double up, triple ups of Arsenal defense looking good. Liverpool 42%. Then we have Aston Villa as well as Newcastle on 36%. Fulham on 34%. So if you want to bench a Cunha, a Strand Larsen, those sort of players could be a case for them. And then obviously Chelsea also 32% against Leicester as well as United. So both newly promoted teams, and obviously that comes with a boost to those clean sheet odds. So yeah, so this is kind of the reason I was benching Aït-Nouri at the moment, because 14% for Wolves, 28% for Man City, and then we have 32% for United, and then I also do own Gabriel for the 50%. So yeah, it's very close. And then we have some, I'm at 1. So that's not the worst rank in the world, Dorici, considering that you say you've had 8 blanks for captaincy. I mean, that's not that bad. Abhishek saying midfield, department, forwards, on a wild card. On a wild card, I have 1 million in the bank. What would you suggest? I mean, your team looks good. I don't think you have to change anything. Bowen's annoying because his next 2 or 3 are bad, but then he has great games. So you could take a punt for Bowen, but it's probably going to be quite short term. I think that you can probably just roll with what you have, to be honest. I mean, there's no problems there. DeRicci has been a member, or legend member, for 35 months, nearly on the 3-year anniversary. Ridiculous. Out of topic, but what's your opinion on the Australia-India test match so far? So you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but every India fan that I've spoken to, going into this test, they thought they were going to get demolished. But now looking at the results of the first day, second day, because last time I checked, I think it was like 170 for 0 in the second innings. I mean, Indian fans are probably a bit happier. So, yeah, end of day 2, 172 for 0. So, yeah, I think Australia don't look great at the moment. So, yeah, I think that it's shifted a bit. Hillary saying, show us your squad, just join. Don't you want to see the projected odds? Okay, let's go back to my team. Okay, so that's the team currently. We are looking at making potentially a -4. Okay, let's go over the Captaincy odds quickly, and then we can maybe get some votes into what transfers I should make. We do have about 29 minutes left. Who's your captain? Salah at the top with 72%. That's actually pretty strong. Haaland with 17%. AJ, predictions for Wales versus SA. I mean, I have to go for, obviously for SA. Like, Wales aren't in a good moment as far as I've seen. I like them as I mean, they've played some good rugby in the past, but yeah, I mean, I think it should hopefully be a little bit of a good result for SA, let's just say that. Philippe, also legend member for 23 months, nearly the 2-year anniversary. Hello, Davey. Good luck and have fun. Thank you. Good luck and have fun to you too. Hopefully it's a great week. I'm a big fan of Klaassen. That's good. That's good to know. Solanke out. Yeah, so Solanke out. I won't lie to you. Solanke out's probably guaranteed for me. It just depends. It just depends on if I go for Jackson or Isaac, but I can't do Isaac for one free transfer. And then it's Kulusevski if I do take him out. Would you bench Kulusevski for Aitnori? That's another debate. I don't think so. I think I would always play the attacker, but there could be a debate there. No worries, Hillary. Like, I was done with the clean sheet odds anyways. Start Lewis or transfer for a hit. You can play him, as far as I know. I mean, they've got a ton of defensive injuries, so Rico Lewis might play. But as I saw some projections where it wasn't looking fantastic for him, but who knows with Pep at the end of the day. Yeah, so no team news as of now. It's weird though that we get news about Rice, but then we don't get news about Saka. Unless it was just like fake news. Start Lewis or Keane. Sorry, I have to just check who Everton play. Everton play Brentford. Do you have a Bumo in your starting 11? Then I would start Lewis. But otherwise, yeah, Keane is okay. But will Keane even feature? I thought that Branthwaite's back. Sorry, I'm not the most clued up on Everton. I won't lie to you. I'll go check for you now though, quickly. Yeah, so Branthwaite and Tarkowski started the last game. So as far as I know, that's going to be the back pairing. Yeah, Kovacic injury, Ali, as you're saying, it does increase Lewis's minutes potentially, but it depends on what happens, because they say that Gundo might drop, and then Walker might be right back, and then Lewis might be left back, Guardiola shifts to centre back or something like that. Don't exactly know what the lineup's going to be. And Tarang, also legend member for 27 months. So I can't say it's close to the 3 anniversary, but it's a little bit past the 2 anniversary. Big shout out to you. Thank you, Tarang. I appreciate it. How does Kulu plus Solanke out to Semenya plus Isaac have 2? Yeah, so if you have 2 free transfers, I would do that. I think that's perfectly fine. Isaac, Jackson, it's close between them. I prefer Semenya over Rogers. So I think if you have 2 free transfers, that's what I would be doing. It just depends if I do it for a hit. That's what I'm considering. Michael, do you support a Premier League team? Yeah, I support Liverpool. Don't click off the video. Sorry, guys. No, I'm joking. Worried Keane will be dropped. Rafa, yeah. I think Keane will be dropped, to be honest. I don't think he'll play. Herman saying Davey. How's it? Herman. What's the likely moves, Connor? At the moment, it's definitely Solanke out for Jackson or Isaac. And then I have to decide if it's worth taking Kulusevski out from -4 for Semenyo. I don't know if it is worth the -4. It might be. That's what I'm just considering at the moment. Okay. Vincent is... Okay, no, Vincent didn't tag me. Okay, so Palmer starts... So Optimus Prime saying Palmer starts. Is that confirmed though? Thank you, Optimus Prime, for saying that. I saw Regret FPL posted it, but then he didn't post the source, so I don't know. But thanks for putting in chat. Thanks, Tarang. Every person has to have a negative or a downside, and mine is the fact that I support Liverpool, apparently. So yeah, that's my flaw. I just do the Jackson move, then bring in Pedro next week if he gets carded. No, but Adam, the problem is that if I do Jackson in this week for Solanke, I can't. I kind of get what you're saying. I can't do Chiwomi to João Pedro. I can only do it if I downgrade someone else. So this could mean like downgrading Dalot maybe, or downgrading Kulusevski. But yeah, I need to find 0.5 to get João Pedro, which does make me all flexible. Maybe keeping Kulu for Bournemouth, Fulham isn't the worst thing in the world. But the only thing is, like, if I could have Semenyo, he has Brighton, Wolves, as long as he doesn't get yellow carded. And these two fixtures are pretty strong. So yeah, I guess it does allow me to be more flexible. I just don't know what Kulusevski will do against Man City, though. But yeah, so I think the Solanke to Jackson move for me is looking pretty kind of secure, I think. I just want to take the punt on him instead. Johnson worth keeping. It's the same as Kulusevski. It's like there's definitely potential for Spurs to score. But if you can bring in a player with better fixtures for the medium term, short term, it might be worth it. Especially if you have free transfers. Yeah, so as Matt is saying, if we get news that Saka's out, I mean, maybe I just take him out, but probably not. I'll probably just keep him because he wasn't partial training. But yeah, so we have one early kickoff, and that's going to be the Chelsea-Leicester game, which could carry some early team sheet news, but as far as I can see, the Chelsea team should be pretty secure. If you are a Chelsea fan, you guys let me know if that should change, but I don't really think so. I think that the team looks pretty secure most weeks. If there are any Chelsea fans in the chat, I have a question. So, you know how Chelsea have been rotating in Europe? So they play one team on the weekend, one team midweek. Is that because it's the kind of conference league, or is that because it's a midweek fixture? Because the worry factor I have is that if I go for Jackson, I want him for the Southampton game. So you can see we have a weekend game, then a midweek game. So do you think Jackson gets rotated in this fixture? Or do you think it's just because it's the conference league and it's lower opposition that the team gets rotated? Because that's the one thing I am worried about with Jackson. Because obviously I want him for that game. Okay, no, Jackson will play, says Wilson. Okay, so Tsep was saying he will play. Okay, cool. Tsep also said bench Visa or João Pedro. I would say, look, I think João Pedro has the better fixture. I think Everton have improved defensively, but I would say that Visa is more guaranteed to start than João Pedro. João Pedro could still be rotated. So I would say I would probably just start Visa, but it's very close because there's a negative and a positive to each of them. I kind of wanted to sell Johnson as I've Guardiola, hope both can score. Yeah, that's what I'm also thinking now is I'm like, maybe I should just take the punt on Semenyo, just hope that he grabs something today, Kulusevski blanks, that hits offset, and I could make some gains, but I don't know. Okay, thanks Optimus Prime, I do appreciate it. Fam saying, Fam bro, play Mikalenko or Aitnori. If you have Mbeumo in your squad, I'd play Aitnori. I'm very fond of the, like, if you have an attacker, bench the defense, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, Everton have improved defensively, especially compared to the Wolves side of things, who are pretty bad. But Aitnori also offers some attacking threat. Semenyo and Isaac do it, says Cameron. So that I can do that. I can do Semenyo and Isaac. And I guess that makes me do the -4 because I can't afford Isaac for a free swap. But then I can't get João Pedro next week, which might not be the matter. Because if Semenyo escapes a yellow card, who would I bench anyways? Because Isaac has Crystal Palace. So I wouldn't bench Isaac. Semenyo has Wolves. So I can get away with not having João Pedro, to be honest. Yeah, so it just makes me a bit less flexible. Because then I have 0.4, so yeah, I couldn't afford a João Pedro. So then we just have to hope that Semenyo lasts. But I think I could just play Aitnari, or I could just play... No, but then I have to play Guardiola. That gets a bit dicey. It's just I like these next three for Chelsea so much. Yeah, but I guess Newcastle have good games as well. I don't know. I'm like, I was leaning towards Isaac. I won't lie to you. But it seems like I do the opposite of what chat sometimes says. 3 centre backs, Guardiola, Gabriel, and Aitnari or Lewis. I think I would start the front three. I would bench Lewis. I don't think I would double up on that Spurs, that Man City defense. Start Guardiola, Aitnari, or Van der Berg. It would be between the first two. Actually, you could start Van der Berg. He's got Brentford. The only thing is Brentford haven't kept a clean sheet this entire season. I do own Flecken, but I guess you could get saves. I don't think I would go for... Sure, I don't know there. Let's see the clean sheet odds quickly. So Brentford are 23%. So Guardiola's still higher. I think I would go... I think I stick with the order that you presented in. So Guardiola first, Aitnari second, Van der Berg third, Christopher. What's Brighton's clean sheet percentage? Is Semenyo worth the -4? Yeah, so their percentage is, you can just see on the right hand side, they're 18%. So Bournemouth are expected to score 1.7. Look, Spurs are 1.3, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but it depends on how much of a talisman Semenyo is compared to Kulusevski. And that's why I might just keep Kulusevski and play him. But yeah, it's just like I keep on coming back to the fact that Spurs like did nothing against Ipswich, and then they have Man City upcoming. It's like surely they don't do well against them as well. Okay, if you have 2 free transfers, Hanan, I would do the Semenyo, Isaac / Jackson moves. I would do those 100%. Cameron saying I'm a West Ham fan. Isaac will bag. It's inevitable. Yeah, I mean, I think Isaac is probably the better long-term, medium-term option, the better FPL asset. It's just those Chelsea fixtures are like ridiculous. Bench one of Aitnari, Larson, or Rodgers. Bruno, a good differential captain this week. Yeah, Bruno's fine. I would still say though that if you have Palmer, Salah, Haaland, I'd rather go for them. Because I think the majority is on Salah, so if you do want a differential, just go Palmer or go Haaland. Wonder what goes behind these stats projections. Which projections? Which like projected points? It's the betting odds. The spread X day, the ones that I've just shown you here, these are from the odds. Like if you were to bet on the fixtures. So for example, if you were to say, let me bet on who keeps a clean sheet, that's going to be what the percentage is. Let me just go check Twitter quickly. Okay, I don't see anything. I just want to do a comparison quickly with stats. Are you thinking about bringing Bruno in? Herman? Probably not. He's got good fixtures for the next 2, but then I probably would sell him after that. Gunny's Whistle will come in today. Yeah, but we're not captaining Palmer though. So that's the key. We're not captaining Palmer. Okay, Jackson has a higher XG. Yeah, I'm starting towards Jackson. I don't know. Still worth doing the Haaland to Salah move with the price changes. Matty, this is a tough one because I think like if you want to captain Salah, like I'm always fond of like transfers for captains, but for me it's so close this week that like I think Haaland and Salah are super close. So I think you just captain whoever you have out of those two. So I don't think I would do the Haaland to Salah transfer this week. I'd just maybe give it a week and see. So yeah, that's my kind of 2 cents on it. I don't think I would do it if I had that. Isaac's more talisman. Yeah, he is more of a talisman. That's what I say. Like from an FPL point of view, he makes more sense. It's just I'm super fixture based, and I feel like Chelsea have better fixtures. Cran, yeah. So as Cran's probably saying, like I'm always gonna side to what I probably think my gut's saying. Just Bowen instead of your Saka. Which transfer would you prefer? Same thing as Nikhil. Like just keep Bowen. So you just do the same thing that I'm kind of doing. You probably just have more money than me. Chris, Solanke and McNeil to Isaac and Semenyo, or Solanke, McNeil and Chiwomi to Jackson, Rogers and Pedro for -4. Is your like starting 11 particularly bad this week, Chris? Is that why you want to take out Chiwomi? Because obviously like with the first option you would be benching Chiwomi. So who are you kind of benching then to bring in Pedro? Because that's a -4. That's a little bit hectic. Can you bring up some stats for the best defenders to pick for the next 5 to 6 game weeks? I mean, I can show you Fix's projections. Bring in Saka for Mbeumo, wait another week. I'd wait. Unless we get news that Saka's definitely starting. Okay, so I can show you this, if you can see. Let me just check you can see it. Okay, I'll just extend the screen a bit. So these are just the projected points for the next like 5-6 game weeks. From game week 12 to game week 17. Arsenal defense is pretty bullish on the Arsenal defense, so I would go for maybe one of them. Konate also like if you want to go for like a cheaper option. And then Lewis Hall is also pretty good. And then your usuals, Robinson, Digne, these two are pretty close to me on the wildcard draft. Also mentioned Gusto if he stays injury free, but he's a bit of a worry. Then, I mean, Dalot or Mazraoui could be good value depending on how they set up with the new system. But yeah, so like there's not many options at the moment. I'd probably say Arsenal defense if you can afford them. Timber comes in at 5.5. Konate also looks pretty good. Otherwise, you go cheap for like a Lewis Hall, Digne, Robinson, those sort of players. Hall is on the wish list for next week, yeah. So when these Newcastle fixtures do look pretty good, Hall could be a great player. Are we expecting all yellow flag players to play? Mbeumo, yes. Palmer, yes. Semenyo, yes. Saka, I don't know. Saka's the only one I'm worried about. And that's how I was hoping for some early team sheet news, but I don't know if you're going to be getting it. Cole Palmer starts for Chelsea, apparently. But we've already mentioned that, but I've just seen the source. I'm surprised we haven't got any other early team sheet news from Chelsea though. Triple captaining Johnson this week. For you a Spurs fan by any chance? I start Larson or Aitnari. I always thought the attacker I would go for Larson. Keep Guardiola versus Spurs or transfer for Gabriel. For a free transfer, I think Gabriel's okay. They got good fixtures medium term. Whereas Man City aren't great. For a free transfer, I don't mind that, to be honest. Start Rico Lewis or Aitnari. I'd probably just go Aitnari for the fact that if Rico Lewis is benched and comes off, it's going to be more annoying. Yeah, but we probably have to do the transfer, guys. 10 minutes to go. I was actually hoping that we would get some early news. Some early news about Jackson starting. Isaac or Bruno? I prefer Isaac for the more medium term. But if you're on a wild card, I like the punt of going for Bruno for 2 weeks and then switching off. Because you could always just keep Bruno if he's playing super advanced. I quite like the Salah to Holland move this week if you get Isaac and Captain Salah. Yeah, exactly. Like it depends on who your forward replacement is. And that's like last week or the week before, I brought in Cunha when he hauled. And that was pretty nice. Okay, so I think the move we're going to do... I think I'm going to take the -4 and bring in Semenyo. Yeah, but I think I'm also going to go for Jackson on Isaac. So don't hate me for that one, guys. Chelsea have the early kickoff. That is true, but I mean, we're not captaining them, so it's fine. I wish we got news that he was actually starting, though. And that's what I might wait for. Let me just post... I just want to post... Let me just select this. So the only, I don't know why I would worry, to be honest. It's just like, obviously, if we got that information, I'd rather just wait for it and make sure. Is Palmer starting? Yeah, apparently he is. And that's why, because we got that Palmer news, I'm like, surely we get some other news about Chelsea. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get anything. We've got 6 minutes to go, though. Bench one, Semenyo, Mikalenko. I'm looking to bring Semenyo in for a hit. I would be worried. I would be more worried. Well, Semenyo, we're not captaining them, so that's the thing. But if he does, I mean, everyone's going to say it's the early curse. Locked in. I'm not locked in yet. I'm still waiting a little bit. I'm like, could we get some early team sheet news? Everyone else is going Isaac, though. 5 minutes to go. We can wait. Abdullah, I know Jackson has the 3 yellows, which probably does make him annoying. But yeah, I feel like that will just make him... We'll know which game that he's benched for then, or what he's rested for. I just prefer the fixtures, Tony H. We wait for 58. I think I'll probably do them in like a minute or two. The team structure does look a bit bad though. Why not Isaac instead? I just prefer the fixtures like short term. But I guess then Isaac has to... Or Jackson has to escape the 3 yellow cards. But if he does, I mean, then the fixtures are good. Go for Isaac. How about move Solanke to Jackson and keep Kulusevski? I could just keep Kulu. I might not do the -4. But, yeah, I don't know. I think I almost want to lock myself into those and then just hope that Spurs do nothing tonight. Isaac, are you making any changes? Yeah, I'm looking at -4. But I was going to see if we got any other early team sheet news. But yeah, I think we probably should have to do the moves now. I have 0.3 value in Johnson. Would you still do Semenyo in? Yeah, I mean, you can keep Johnson if you want to. Just do the first move. I'm just like, I just don't really like the Spurs next 3, and that's why I was taking them out. Isaac Jackson. Yeah, so we have to do the transfers now. I think I'm going to go for this. I'm just going to hope that... yeah, Isaac, and it's close. It's close between Isaac or Jackson. I think I'm just going to take more of a punt on Jackson, to be honest. And then just hope that he does well. So I'm going to make this -4. Yes, it's Kulusevski out to Semenyo, but I think it locks me in on a better trajectory. So yeah, it's done. Okay, the team is locked in. So you guys can get your transfers locked in. I'll try and do a quick fire round. I just want to post the team to Discord quick. So yes, we have actually brought in a player with a yellow flag, which is never super great, but it is what it is. Good luck to you, thanks. I don't think people love these moves. I'm just hoping that Jackson does something. Okay, cool. 2 minutes left. Get your questions and we can do a quick fire round. The team looks okay. Captain set, vice captain set, bench orders okay. We're just going to hope that Spurs do nothing, which I mean might be rich, but yeah. I start Rodgers or João Pedro. I'd probably just go for Rodgers because João Pedro might be benched. He might be, he might not. It's close. Digne or Mazraoui. I'd say Digne for the moment because Mazraoui, you don't exactly know the setup that United are going to go for. Bruno Fernandes, thoughts? Really like him as an option more for the next 2 weeks, and that's why I'm not going for him. It's a bit too short term. Ait Nori swap for Dalot, maybe, but I think Fulham are a better team than Ipswich. And also, if Dalot starts as a wing back, I mean, he could be great value. Dorici gifted 20 memberships. You can't do this. I'm busy answering questions, Dorici. Now I'm going to be distracted. But yeah, 20 FPL memberships. Kylo GG, Genghis, Treble, Clyde, Jamal, Liam, Patel, Bora, Murray, SH. Says time's up. Sorry, you're already a member. T4K, Aiden, LaRue, MK, Robert, Paula, and Al-S. Salman, Pudar, thank you for becoming members. Mohammed, thank you for becoming a member. Barry, I mean, Balray. There's so many, I can't even read all the names. Thank you, Dorici. That is insane. We can have some, let me try find a heart in chat. Which one? This one. Thank you. Thank you for the 20 gifted memberships, insane, and right on TUPD time as well. So good timing there. Do appreciate it. I don't even know what to say. I mean, you just give so many memberships. And the best thing about this is that Vincent didn't get one because he wasn't in chat. So do appreciate that. You guys can say thanks to Dorici if you guys got a free membership there. Also join the Discord server. It gives you access to channels that you might not have had access to before. But yeah, thank you for joining the stream. I know you guys don't love this kind of Jackson pick, but let's hope that it pays off. It's a bit different. It's a bit kind of more differential. Let's see how it kind of runs. But yeah, I mean, insane end to the stream, Dorici. I do appreciate it. Thank you for celebrating the end of the international break and we're going to have some hectic content coming up from now till January. And Reflex, thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate it. And it's your first one, so thanks a lot for that one. But yeah, I don't want to hold too much of you guys' time. I know it's a Saturday. Enjoy the weekend. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, as in bring in Nicholas Jackson instead of Isaac. But thank you for the support. This stream has been insane. And I'll see you guys for Game Week 13, the lucky game week. Hopefully it's going to be a green arrow. That'll be quite nice. But yeah, I'm going to be signing off for the time being. Cheers.